I know the law, Fiddler. I know the law too well.
Then you ought to know that there ain't no way to beat the law. White folks live by it and we die by it.
That this is what the judge looking at. In April 2025, a federal grand jury returned a 43-count indictment against Henley. Federal authorities have compared his Big U enterprise to a mafia-like criminal organization. Charges brought against Henley include fraud, robbery, extortion, tax evasion, embezzlement, and attempted murder. Authorities claim he used his influence with his street gang to intimidate business owners and the citizens of Los Angeles. Henley deceived celebrities such as Shaquille O'Neal, Draymond Green, and other donors into believing his Big U enterprises was helping young athletes to achieve their dreams. He also led them to believe his organization was helping to curb gang violence. In reality, Henley was amassing the funds for his own financial gain. According to authorities, Henley also received federal grants for his charity, which were also diverted to fund his criminal enterprise. Before turning himself in to authorities to face charges levied against him, Henley took to social media and accused hip-hop media personality Wack 100 of conspiring with federal authorities to bring about his downfall. So you got to understand what's going on. The federal system are going by procedure. We understand they play dirty, but we can't look around the fact of what they're standing on. They're standing on what they perceive to be the facts about the way Big U was moving around. And if play a big part that Big U had attached himself with the police, that he attached himself with LAPD. So for them not to care or have the compassion for Big U to go to his son's funeral, in a legal sense, it's understandable. But on a moral sense, it's not. Because the man hasn't been convicted. For all we know, Big U situation may turn around once he get in the courtroom. They saying Big U was making phone calls and pretty much sending messages out to tell people don't take guilty pleas unless he take one. So that's proving the federal government to be correct if that's true. That proves them to be correct because they're looking at the situation like you a Crip on the streets, but you a Muslim behind bars. How does that work? Because everything we saw of Big U when he was on the street screamed Crip. From the Quando Rondo situation with the check-in, he sat down with the interview with Quando Rondo, but he made a statement before that interview as far as don't call me once you need some help when you wasn't calling me to check in before. And a lot of people take that as extortion. Then you have the situation with DJ Khaled, the situation with Nipsey Hussle. You have to understand, no matter how we look at it on the streets, these federal prosecutors are looking at him as being guilty of these things. But the thing is, it ain't what you know, it's what you can prove. So Big U at this point is fighting an uphill battle. You have many people that speak positively on Big U name, that's dealt with Big U. But you also have people in the streets that fear Big U. Big U represented himself as a gangster. Big U made it known that the character Debo was created after him. So you got to look at these situations in the way how the feds see it. Everything don't boil down to how we see it on the streets because we're not the ones in the courtroom making the decision. We're not the ones filing these motions against these people. So Big U got to realize that the name he created for himself is what's working against him. And I lost a lot of respect for Big U when I saw the way he did in that situation with Quando Rondo. Because I look at it like this. If I'm an OG, I'm an older guy, I just want to see a young brother who trying to be successful make it. I don't care if you my friend or you my partner. If it's anything I can say to step in to help you get to where you trying to get, then I'm all for that. But for a person to sit back where you old enough to be this person's grandfather and you expecting to be compensated for just doing a good deed, for doing what morally is correct. And then when I saw the way the situation went down with Nipsey Hussle, where him and Big U got into a fight, to where Big Sam had to pull out a pistol. But this supposed to be the little homie. You supposed to protect the little homie. So all roads lead to Big U looking as if he wasn't a good person. You got to look at the charges that's been filed, and you got to look at that's all the federal prosecutors care about. Now, anything dealing with a person being charged or convicted of something they didn't do, I'm not with that. But at the end of the day, the way Big U represented himself, when DJ Khaled came to Cali, with Nipsey Hussle and DJ Khaled had to move around because they was running the extortion press on that situation. Just for Big U to get a direct line on DJ Khaled allegedly. Not everybody want to cry about how the system doing Big U so wrong and how all these situations are not working in his favor, but all of this is due to his behavior. All this is due to what he's presented to the public. Multiple interviews where he want everybody to know he the big dog and everything had to be ran by him, or else you're going to be faced with some resistance. That ain't G. What happened to just being a regular, normal human being? A person with some compassion. A person with a heart that cares about humanity. But when everything you do that it could be perceived as a good thing that you done is only because of some financial gain that's coming in your way, that ain't solid. So I don't want anything to go wrong. Whatever Big U did, he need to face up to whatever is correct in the indictment. But whatever they're just fabricating and trying to put on in the information paper, in the paperwork or in the indictment, just to make sure something stick, I ain't with that. Because I do know the feds play dirty. The local PD play dirty. And when your life is in the hands of another man, they can go off of their personal judgment, as we saw in the Diddy case. So to be aware is to be alive. And for some reason, Big U awareness level wasn't high in the climate that we live in today. Because that gangster lifestyle, that gangster image, that went on long enough. And it's to the point now that people don't want to live in fear. You got to understand one thing. People that's federal agents now, people that's police now, these were the people that grew up during the time where the gangsters bullied them. So a lot of people got vendettas against gangsters. And a lot of people sitting right in there, they grew up in the culture, so they know what to look for. This is what's coming on their algorithm. So it's easy for them to get the information and hear somebody talking too much like Wack 100, Loose Cannon, and 600, speaking on all these different situations of people that couldn't come back to California or got ran out of California. It's easy for these prosecutors to deep dive into those situations. You giving them a leg up. So people be, oh, I didn't snitch. If you spoke on it, you snitched because you gave the people something to look into.